It's Onyx again at the start of the video this time. So before I start this video, I just wanted to say one thing. This weekend in Pittsburgh, actually outside of Pittsburgh, in Fox Chapel, I will be at the Waterworks Barnes & Noble from 12 to 4 on Sunday, December 4th. There's a book fair and charity fund that's going on, and I'm one of the authors who's going to be at the book signing. So if you live around Pittsburgh or Fox Chapel or any of those surrounding areas, come out and see me. I'd love to meet you, and we'll be selling books. Part of the funds will be going towards a charity. Also, today I got in some fancy bookmarks. Look at that, and the back is really cool. I thought that they would come out really blurry, and they didn't, and I was so happy because I love them. It's experiencedailiona.com with a list of some of the islands, and not a full list, but some of them. And then the planets in the series. And if you come to the book signing and buy a book, you'll receive one of those bookmarks, and probably if you don't buy one either, because I like giving out stuff for free. Okay, so NaNoWriMo is over, and that means it's time to start thinking about editing. Or if you are like me and some other people, like you're going to take a break for a while, and then you'll get back into editing. A lot of people, they don't know what to do when it comes to editing, and it's really intimidating to them. And I just want to say this. We're all writers here, and writing is half the fun, or, to me it's like 30% of the fun. But a lot of people get intimidated about editing. Editing is not their favorite thing to do at all. I understand that, like, some of us just hate going through everything and nitpicking everything, but I think obviously it's a very crucial part of the writing process, and I think it's something that, we have this negative view of it, and I think we need to have a more positive view of it. Like, that's just me. I really enjoy editing. Like, I know there are people who hate it, I know that there are people who love it. I'm one of the people who loves it. Editing is so much fun that you get to go back and read all the crap you wrote, because let's be honest, first drafts are crap, and you get to make it better. And a lot of us are like, oh man, but I don't want to read this, or I'm not making it better, it's so bad I can't make it any better. I love editing because it gives you a chance to really think about the story that you want to tell. It's a chance to sit back and be like, is this the book I really wanted to write? And I can tell you right now, Embassy, when I first wrote it, was not, number one, called Embassy, and number two, the plot was completely different. It had nothing to do with what it is now. The plot actually surrounded them, going to Bellevue, and then as they're going back to Undil, they crash land on a planet, and then there's like these aliens that live there, and they have to escape the planet, but their fleet's destroyed, so they're like trying to act friendly with the aliens who are trying to kill them, or at a point trying to kill them, and then repair their fleet and then take off again. Obviously, if you've read Embassy, you know that that is nothing like what the final draft of Embassy is. And that's what drafts and editing are supposed to do. They're supposed to give you that chance to sit back and think about if that's the story you want to tell, and then also, clean it up, add things, do all that, and that's just something that I love doing. Seeing that red pen everywhere, like deleting entire scenes, writing side notes and stuff, like you've seen it before and you're gonna see it some more. It rhymes. And that is just my favorite part of the writing process, actually. Yeah, I love sitting there and typing out the book, but I love sitting there and editing the book a lot more. Number one, because it's like cool, you get to see your clean, fresh pages fill up with red ink, and you're like, it shows your progress. It shows how much effort you're putting into this and how much thought you're putting into editing your book. And if you're just gonna sit there and type your book and then read through it and type a few changes here and there and then call it a day, you're not putting in, I think, as much work into the novel as you should be. Like, that's just my opinion, because I do love editing a lot, and I love putting a ton of work into it. And I know for like different mediums, you don't need to edit as much as you would a novel. But if you're writing a novel, especially if you're self-publishing a novel like I do, I believe in putting thousands of hours into it. And with Embassy, I put over 3,000 hours of work into it in 1 year. The same with Resonance. I didn't put as much time into Resonance because Resonance was my second novel and I knew where I was going with the story at this point. So Embassy, because I changed the story so much, I needed to put a ton more time into it. So Resonance, I didn't put nearly 3,000 hours into it. I probably put 1,500 to 2,000 in it. So yeah, I think, you know, it's December, you've finished your novels or you've done some work to them, and now you just want to go through and you want to rewrite them. And in my previous videos about editing, I've talked about, you know, things that you should do to prepare for editing. I've talked about my inverted pyramid of revising a book, like the different 7 steps that you should take as you edit your novel, from writing the first draft, obviously, to marketing and completing the final draft, and then everything in between, and the different layers of editing that you should progress through to kind of hone down your editing process. Onyx is sniffing my pile of drafts over there, actually. Yeah, yep. That is Embassy. That was hey. That was every printed draft that I have of Embassy when I was writing it back in 2013 and editing it through 2013 and 2014. That's all the paper I printed. So you can see there's a lot that goes into editing a book. That says Embassy, but really that was the first draft. This was the first draft when it was called Embassy. And this was the first draft when it wasn't called Embassy. I read every single one of these pages, and I put red pen on every single one of these pages to edit Embassy and revise Embassy. You can see I put a ton of work into this. I scratched a ton of stuff. I rewrote entire pages. Like, all these pages have stuff on them. There's so much red in this book. And it's just all part of the process. I think when you go back through it and you're putting in these edits on the computer after handwriting them, you just get to see how much work. You get to look back and see all the work you put into these books. Because this stack of paper literally became this book. This is how it started, and this is the end product. And I think that when you... Okay, my arm is getting very tired. And you see that it's completely transformed. I mean, there's I think 9 drafts of this book is in that stack. You know, rewriting and writing and adding all these scenes and stuff is something to be very excited about and very proud to look back on and see how much the story has changed from that first draft through the edits all the way to the final draft and the published copy of your book. Nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can. The proof is on the page. And right now, if you've been following me, you know that I'm working on the revisions to book 3 right now. And here they are. The revisions to book 3. I am 6 chapters into it, revising. I'm almost done chapter 7, revising. And I have gone through this process with Embassy. I have gone through this process with Resonance. And I'm working on it with Per Helid. And of course, as you're going through all of this, you gotta have some fuel. And my fuel is coffee, generally just like, you know, Starbucks or Panera Bread or something like that. Because I don't write in my room, or I don't write at my house or apartment. I write out. And so a writer has got to drink. And right there, this is just from NaNoWriMo. This is just November. That's 41 cups of coffee. And it's not even every single one, because some of them, they didn't change my cup. They didn't change my cup when I would get a new cup of coffee or refill. So it's probably somewhere in the 50s, but this is just 41 that I collected. So yeah, that's what I've got to say. Get excited about editing. It's hard work. It takes up a ton of time, but it's completely worth it, and you should be very proud that you've even gotten the first draft, or however many words you've written. That is all coming from you, and nobody can take that away from you. It's your work, and you guys should be so proud of yourselves for making it through this month. Now, whether you're continuing to type your novel, or you're going to take a break and let it sit, or you're going to jump straight into edits, just remember that all the work you do, it's your work. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, what you guys do, and what you guys are writing about. Good luck on all your editing. You should be so proud of yourselves for all the writing that you've done. And I'll see you guys next time. And as always, check out my books, Embassy and Resonance. I'll post links to them in the description below, and also the website, experiencedeleona.com.